Hi, this is Jerry. Welcome back. We will now continue our tutorial on DB2 Express C. On today's sessions, we're going to set constraints, create a sequence, import the data from a file, use alter, update, and delete statement. And last is we're going to drop the database table and a column. When we talk about constraints, we limit or validate first the data before it is inserted on a table. Constraints sets rules on which value to accept. Example of constraints that we could use in DB2 are check, primary key, foreign key, and default. Now let us set up an employee table. Our employee table consists of employee number, last name, first name, gender, and birthday. So on employee number, we're going to pad it with leading zeros and set it as a primary key. And this would be our syntax in creating table employee. Let's proceed. We connect first to our database, set the schema that we have used before, and create now the table. Let us check our table. What did we have done so far? We define gender CK as our constraints name for the column gender, which has a character data type. The column accepts only M and F characters. Birth date is set with the date data type. Duplication of employee number is not allowed because it is set as primary key. As discussed, primary key should not contain a null value. As indicated on our setting, employee numbers should be numbers 5 in length where the remaining leading numbers are padded with zeros. Assume that the employee number are in odd numbers. Here we will create a sequence key to set numbers automatically in odd number. And by the way, what is a sequence? A sequence generates a unique numeric value independent from tables. And what would be the syntax in creating a sequence for our problem? This would be the syntax of the statement in creating a sequence. Let's do this. Emp-NOS sequence generates numbers starting with 1 and next number will increment by 2. Cache 5 is to store next 5 numbers in the memory. This means that numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are already reserved in case connections during insertion is interrupted. To facilitate the use of sequence, we will use next value expression to return the sequence value on our insert command. So this would be our statement. When you display all records, we will have this. We use lfad functions to pad zeros to our sequence number. 5 means the size of the column and 0 is the character that will be padded starting from left. Next value for employee sequence contains 1 since our starting number is 1 as we defined on our sequence. Let us insert a couple of rows to check if our sequence is working. Let us display the records. So our sequence is working. Now let us terminate, reconnect, and see the behavior of a sequence. Let's connect again on DB2. Connect to Hope. Set our schema. And insert another set of records. Let us display all rows. And here is our output. Question is, why employee number is set to 11 and not 7? 7 and 9 were part of the cache 5 and no longer active when connection is terminated. Next value to generate upon reconnection is no longer 7 or 9 but 11. We continue to implement the ERD of Hope Incorporated. Next to our list is to create job and job history tables. Let us start with the job table first. Instead of issuing series of insert into statements, let us use import statement to retrieve the limited CSV file as a source of our data. Entering and modifying data from a spreadsheet file is much easier than encoding it directly at the command line prompt. This would be our job file CSV file. I'm going to save it. Yes. And this would be the syntax on how to import a CSV file. CSV means comma separated values. Here you could notice that we combine import and insert into statements. Of del means that the file being imported uses a delimiter. On this case, the delimiter of the file is a comma. So applying the statement, we have the text file job file.csv includes the folder and where it is saved. Make sure you enclose it with the single quotes, and this would be the result of that statement. Let us now display the content of the table. We got it right. We move now in creating a job history table. So this would be our syntax for creating a job history. Empno, job code, and effective date are set as primary key. Column set as primary key is called a composite key. Primary key should not contain blank value, that is why we indicate a not null expression. All values that entered at empno and job code are cross-referenced with employee and job tables. The setup increases the referential integrity of the table, which means no value will be entered unless it exists on the two tables. Salary has a decimal data type which has a 10 digits with two decimal point numbers. It has a constraint with the name of salary CK. Only salary with values greater or equal to 0 are accepted. F-date or effective date has a date data type. This monitors the effectivity date of the position on the job history table. Def code is set as foreign key. We limit the entry of def code column which has reference with department table. Foreign key is a non-key or not primary key on one table but primary key on another table. On our case, def code is the foreign key but reference with department table which has its own def code as set as primary key. Let us enter the statement. Let us list the structure of the table. Let us now check if our set constraints are working. We now check the primary key constraint, if working, on employee table. Let us insert this row. We have declared that employee number is the primary key. Empno with the value of 00001 is already existing. That is why the inserted row was not accepted. (001) is owned by John Smith. Let us use our arrow keys to edit the statement. So I have just pressed the up arrow key to go on the history of the statement. This time we'll check if the gender constraint is working. Let's edit out our previous statement and make this one 13 and the big letter F convert it to a small letter f. Though small letter f is the same with big letter F, it is not accepted because big letter M and F were declared during creation of the table. Correct it with big letter F and the row will be inserted. Let's display content of the table. Employee number 13 is inserted. We now check the constraint in job history. Let us insert the statement. Notice on the above insert 0015, PR3, and ITC were not existing at employee, job, and department tables. Let us check. There is no 00015. Let us check on department. There is no ITC. What we have is IT. Let us check on job. There is no job code PR3. What we have is PR1 and PR2. Any value not included on these reference tables will not be accepted as an entry at job history. Since the job history entry is intended for John Smith, who works as a programmer too at IT department, let us correct our insert table with the following script. Another error message is generated. Salary CK is the constraints name we have set before to check if the value corresponds with the range. Negative values are not accepted. To correct this, we remove the negative sign for the salary and re-enter the script. The statement is accepted.
Hi, Jerry here. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see the script of the video presented, please click the link below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Buy the book for more challenging exercises with solutions. Visit our Facebook and Twitter account. Bye.